Hey team, welcome to Tom's Takeaways episode 2, The Power of Choice. Now, do you ever feel like your day gets hijacked before it even starts? Perhaps you wake up with good intentions, maybe even a clear to-do list, but by lunchtime you are off track. You're responding to emails, trying to put out fires all over the place, and at the end of the day, you're just exhausted and wondering what happened to my day. I'm sure we've all been there. I've certainly been there a lot. Well, on today's Tom's Takeaways, we're going to continue our journey through Essentialism by Greg Mckeown and focus on his powerful reminder: if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Now, what I enjoyed about this part of the book is that it's kind of obvious. Like, if you don't do the thing in your life, someone else is just going to fill that time. Someone else is going to suggest something, and you might probably say yes because you're not choosing. But he invites you to take back ownership and to stop living by default, but to live by design. And he's kind of talking about, like, this is our responsibility. It's, our choice where we get to spend our time and energy. But if we don't actively choose, then the world around us will choose for us. And for me, that message came at a time when I was just saying yes to a lot. And not because I really wanted to, but because I just didn't pause to think about it. And probably it wasn't that long ago I was saying yes to a lot of things out of habit as a people pleaser. I wasn't really kind of thinking and living with intention. And it wasn't those things were bad, but they just weren't essential to my life. And the more I said yes to everyone else, the less I said yes to what I needed. And for me, reading this part of Essentialism was like being given back the keys to my own time. It just reminded me that I have a choice. And even when I feel like I should do such and such a thing, I can just pause and say, like, do I really? And for me, there was a question that really helped my day to set up for the sort of my success. And that was, what's the most important thing I can do today? Not what anyone else needs, not what I think I should, but what's the most important thing I can do. And that gave me a lot of clarity about what mattered to me and focused my time and energy on those things. So if you're listening to this and feeling like your days are being dictated by everything and everyone but you, then this can be a really helpful question to reflect on. You don't have to change everything. You just begin with the awareness. You start noticing the small ways you hand over your choices by saying yes without thinking, by overcommitting by default. And then you ask yourself, is this really what I want to say yes to? Is this how I want to use my energy today? Now, this isn't about becoming rigid, but it's about making space for what matters to you before that time gets spent on everything else. So perhaps something you can try this week that I find helpful. I love the journaling and the writing. It's up to you whether you just speak it to yourself. But each morning, ask yourself, what's the most important thing I can do today? Write it down, say it out loud, just keep it simple. And if you can, just protect 30 minutes in your day with a little calendar entry for that one thing. And you'll start to feel a shift. You just repeat that day in, day out. If you want to add to it, say no to one thing, whether it's an invite, a task, like a social event, and remind yourself that you have a choice. That's it for this week. Nice and simple. Next week, we're talking about one of the hardest but most powerful skills that you can learn and use. And that's how to say no with grace and clarity. If this episode helped, please feel free to share it or subscribe wherever the button is so you don't miss the next one. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.